Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
See my financial statement at some point. I assume it's going to be released. You'll be very impressed with the job I've done. Much, much bigger, much better than anybody. They're after my financial statement, the Senate. They'd like to get my financial statement. At some point, I hope they get it.
You're going to turn it over?
No, at some point, I might. But at some point, I hope they get it because it's a fantastic financial statement. It's a fantastic financial statement. And let's do that over. He's coughing in the middle of my answer.
Yeah.
If you're going to cough, please leave the room.
Get a shot of, and I'll come over here.
You just can't.
Just to change the shot.
Boy.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to New Right Network's original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news media, and giving you the real news. Every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, and right after the show is the Wayne Dupree Show. So you got 2 solid hours of incredible news information and exposing the fake news and showing you the difference between Donald Trump's winning agenda versus the liberals' losing agenda. So if this is the first time you've been on the show, welcome. Crush the share, crush the like, hit the bell for notifications. Jump down in the description below and you will see the link for the full show notes. Click that. That'll take you over to newrightnetwork.com. The entire 3 pages of show notes will be there, as well as an embedded video of the show. So you can actually take the show notes, the link, and share that with your friends and your family. Tell them all about SmythTV and the new groundbreaking information that we bring you real news every day. I know that's sad to have to say that, but man, it's just so awful out there. Also, we're on an app called Telegram. Download the app and the link right there to be in our group so that you'll get the message every single day, 1 time a day. For the show notes, the links to where we're at, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as the live link to Periscope when we go live. And if you want to listen to us audio only, the link for iHeartRadio is down there, and we are on Parler. I don't know, somebody said that the owner of Parler, it was Parlay, and the CEO is now changing it to Parler. I don't know, guys. It don't matter. Anyway, so we got big news, people. We got big news. The Trump rally is tonight. Obviously, I'm doing the show before the rally, so I won't be able to do that, but I'll give you highlights tomorrow on the rally. Donald Trump to formally announce his run for 2020, and that means that it is officially 2020 season, and we are all out on the ground, connecting with our friends and our family. Scott Pressler absolutely doing a phenomenal job recruiting people and showing people how to sign up voters. He tweeted out earlier yesterday saying people were on the ground in Florida signing up voters. That's what we need to do, folks. We need to get to these rallies and start to sign up people to vote. And don't think that people are showing up there and not already registered. There will be people that are not registered to vote that come along with their friends and their family just to watch. We've got to be there to help sign up. Democrats are doing it already. We need to do it as well. So we'll have that Trump 2020 information, all the news and breaking information about that, as well as election 2020 for the Democrats. What are they doing? You know what they're doing. It's the usual tactics. They're the usual suspects. They do what they do, but you've got to see it so that you can tell your friends and your family, hey, this is what's really going on. Andrew Cuomo and the governor and Bill de Blasio in New York, yeah, you got to know about this because this is real news. And when people find out about it, they will realize, yeah, almost every single Democrat's lying to them. I'm not sure I know of one that's not. We definitely have information and new news on the border crisis, as well as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Yeah, the Democrats are doing it. They're stepping in it. And Donald Trump is hitting back and talking with Mexico. New information on Mexico and what Mexico is doing to help. And then we'll wrap up the show with updates on Spygate and some great information. We'll show you the videos and stuff that's going on in the rally in Florida, which is just, it's really starting to build up to be enormous. I told you yesterday, Donald Trump tweeted out, said that the venue's only slated for 18 to 20,000 capacity. And even Ron McDaniel has said that they've received over 100,000 requests for the rally. Folks, that's huge. And this, our good friend at T-Boots, a movement that can't be stopped. Re-election kickoff starts tomorrow, which is today, in Florida. Supporters starting lining up for President Trump rally 42 hours early. Great enthusiasm for 2020. And this, Ron McDaniel.
Well, speaking of that, President Trump set to officially launch his 2020 re-election campaign tomorrow with a rally in Orlando. Some people are already lining up. That's what we're seeing on the ground there, while the president claims more than 100,000 people have requested tickets for this event. Talk to me about the rollout. What will it look like?
Well, first of all, Harris, I've never seen a candidate like President Trump or anybody garner this type of crowd over and over and over again. He's been doing this for 3 years, and 100,000 people have RSVP'd. Not one candidate on the Democrat side could get this.
Do you expect that there will be some people who did not vote for this president in line, just out of curiosity?
Absolutely.
Or what? What are you seeing on the ground?
There's going to be people saying, you know what, he did deliver. My wages are up. There have been jobs coming back. This is a president who's getting things done. We like him. So we're going to be there registering voters at the RNC.
So you see it as a registration event and maybe a way to kind of push in on people who, may be on the fence or whatever. I was talking about this on Outnumbered last hour. When you have the kind of polling that came in from Fox News with the president, behind some of these Democratic contenders, you say it's really early. People need a reason to get out, though. And if you say you've always got it, and Democrats have learned this too, we got it. It gives them a reason to come out. Your last thought?
Yeah, we want our voters to be urgent. We want them to know what's at stake. They've seen a media that's been 93% negative. This president's had an unprecedented level of negativity coming his way and accomplished so much. So yeah, we absolutely need our base energized, but they have been. That's why we're raising record money. That's why you have a rally like we have tomorrow. There's nobody who brings more energy to the American people than President Trump.
Absolutely, 100%. And again, about the money that's being raised, the GOP has raised over $40 million, and Donald Trump has raised himself over $40 million. Folks, that is enormous, creeping up on $100 million on day one of the run for president re-elect. That is that war chest is enormous, folks, because compared to the Democrats, they literally have nothing. Peanuts. Their ideas are peanuts, and they're raising peanuts. And we'll get into Joe Biden and what the crowd that he's drawing. But until then, check this out. Good Morning America kind of stepping on themselves and getting choked up a little bit.
He's officially kicking off his campaign in Florida today.
He is. Take a look. I want to show you some video that our team there on the ground in Orlando shot overnight. You can see people already camping, lined up, waiting to get in. This is expected to be a huge event tonight. The arena, listen to this, holds more than 18,000 people. The president's campaign says that they've received requests from more than 100,000 people who want to be there tonight. You know this, Florida is a key battleground state. The president narrowly beat Hillary Clinton there back in 2016. They're feeling the heat there already, given Joe Biden, and these fight over the polls that they've had there. So Florida is a must-win this time around for them, Michael.
Did you hear at the very end? Joe Biden and because they know Joe Biden. Nobody's showing up. Nobody's showing up to see old Uncle Joe, slow-mo Joe. And I'm not, okay, I am making fun of him a little bit, but man, he put himself out there. Look at the way he speaks. Granted, he's 77 years old. He's an older grandfather, and he speaks as an older grandfather would speak. Slow and just not really sharp and quick-witted. Sorry, man, juxtaposed Donald Trump. You can't hold a candle to Donald Trump. Can you imagine what the debates are going to look like? Think about that. Imagine what the debates are going to look like if it was Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Man, it's going to be shameful. That's exactly what it's going to be. So check it out, folks. grab your friends, grab your family, people that you know that didn't vote for Donald Trump, people that are on the fence. Make sure that you get them to a rally. Make sure that they see what a rally is all about. Send them clips of the show. Send them clips of Donald Trump speaking. Talk to your friends and your family. We absolutely have to be united as Donald Trump is pulling this country together, not apart, pulling it together as the demon rats, as some people refer to them, are pulling this country apart. And some really, really fantastic news. Thank you at Politic_Rick, a good friend of the show. Evangelical leader promises most ambitious voter mobilization in community's history for Trump. This at thehill.com. Ralph Reed, head of the Faith and Freedom Coalition, promised the most ambitious and far-reaching voter mobilization effort in the evangelical community's history as it rallies in support of President Trump's re-election. They're talking about knocking on 3 million doors. They're talking about registering 1 million evangelical voters. They're talking about getting in touch with literature to over 117,000 churches in key states and roughly 30 million people in the effort they will contact. This is going to be big, guys. Ladies, you know what's going on with the Democrat Party, especially if you've been listening to the show. And if you're new, welcome to the show. Jump down in the description below. Hit the link for the show notes so that you can follow along. And all the people that we showcase here on the show, those are the ones to follow. If I put somebody's handle in there and I tell them, I'll forewarn you, I'll let you know. I said, no, man, this guy's not good. Don't follow this one or whatnot. But most of these are the great patriots that are helping Donald Trump, the digital warriors, if you will, to help Donald Trump re-election, to help make America great, to help keep America great. And that'll be our job. 2024, folks, it's going to be right around the corner. And I know you're like, Brian, why are you mentioning that then, that now? It's important because once it's here, we've got to be ready. We've got to be ready to move forward with the next candidate. We've got to be ready to move forward with the new news media right here, SmythTV. And this from our good friend at 1776, Stonewall Jackson, that is. Stock market approaching a record highs, gas prices going down, down, down. The Fed rate cuts coming for July. And Trump and Xi just had a great phone conversation. We'll meet President Xi at the G20. Stock skyrockets even more with the news. This is what it's all about. It's all about the economy. People, especially people in my area on the west side of Cincinnati and Cincinnati in general, from my real estate agent, she's told us that there is no inventory. If you put a house on the market and it's reasonably priced, not too high, not too low, it is going to sell. If your house is not selling, either you priced it too high or you might need some work on it. I know there's one house down the street, the people, looky lures, just keep coming every single day and nobody buying. They got a lot of problems with that house on fixing it up. But again, there's zero inventory in the sense that there are houses just sitting around that are well-priced houses that are not selling. Folks, that's because people got money and they're playing it smart and they're buying houses and they're getting out. Those millennials, like there's a young couple that's looking at buying the house down the street from us, young millennials, married, first-time homeowners, outside of the parents' house, want to get out of the apartment, now have the ability to do that because of their jobs. This is the difference maker. This is the game changer. And all the Democrats have to talk about is the opposite of what Donald Trump's doing. It's a proven track record. And this at Penny Lokitek, AOC says Trump has created more employment in history, building a world-class military, restoring respect for America. If the Dems want to win the presidency, they have to reverse all of that. He's saying that tongue-in-cheek, but listen to what she says.
So do you believe that Democrats will lose to Donald Trump if they don't nominate somebody who is, in your mind, a true progressive along the lines you just described?
Well, I think that we have a very real risk of losing the presidency to Donald Trump if we do not have a presidential candidate that is fighting for true transformational change in the lives of working people in the United States. I think that if we elect a president on half measures, that the American people don't quite understand the agenda, of a president, a president that says we're fighting for higher wages, but we don't want a $15 minimum wage, fighting for education, but we don't want to make colleges tuition free, fighting for women's rights, etc., but we don't want to go all the way with that, then I think we have a very real risk of losing the presidency.
This is called gaslighting, folks. She's been gaslit. I originally thought that she was the puppet, that it was all fake and orchestrated, and they were just pulling the strings in the background, and she was going along with the show. I originally thought that. I'm rethinking this. AOC completely gaslit and now gaslighting more people, saying that we've got, if we promise, health care for women for all, and we don't, do it, meaning abortion, 100% abortion on demand, all the way up until the day of birth. And even if the baby's out of the womb, there are laws that are now trying to say that you kill it then. So she's saying that if they don't have a candidate that's all in on all those awful policies that are 100% against Donald Trump, that they're not going to win. Well, I'm here to tell you, sister, you don't have enough people that are gaslit to beat the real information and the real news that Donald Trump really is making America great again. People can feel it in their pockets. They're spending more. They're buying more. They're going on vacation more. And that's the other thing, too. Last year during the summer, people were going on vacation like they hadn't done in decades. AAA was reporting that. Trump administration putting that out. We reported that right here on the show. Real news, folks. I'm telling you, this summer is going to be just the same, where people are going to be getting out and having fun with their friends and their family. And even if they're disconnected from politics, that's okay for now. We've got 504 days. We got 504 days to go before Election Day, but everybody's going to get plugged in real soon. And this at Black Widow 1928, our good friend, one to follow, definitely. AOC's New York nightmare. New poll shows she's disliked, distrusted, and unwanted. Voters also disagree with her decision to sabotage the Amazon deal, which would have brought thousands of jobs and billions of dollars to her district. So much for her economics degree. This by conservativefighters.org. A door-to-door poll from Stop the AOC PAC yielded the following key results. They don't like her, 50.88%. They do like her, 21%. They don't trust her, 10% said yes, and 32% said no. They don't want her, 33% are ready to vote against her, and only 13% would vote for her. The poll also found that a plurality of AOC districts did not agree with her decision to sabotage Amazon. This is bad. This is bad. Elections every 2 years. This is bad. There are MAGA candidates that are running against these Democrats. I cross my fingers that, people in her district that are liberal, that they wake up and they see what's really going on here. Donald Trump making huge strides across the board, and the Democrats have absolutely no answer. This at Real Donald Trump. Fox News polls are always bad for me. They were against crooked Hillary also. Something weird going on at Fox. Our polls show us leading in all 17 swing states. For the record, I didn't spend 30 hours with ABC News, but rather a tiny fraction of that. More fake news at Brett Baer. Oh my goodness. And check this out. Chat by CC replied to Donald Trump, and she said, "This is bull. Pisses me off. Time to send another contribution to President Trump's re-election campaign and sign up to volunteer. Please join me, friends." 100% agree. We are already involved. My cousin here locally is running for city council member. Fantastic. In about 2 more years, the seat that's in my area, my little section, will be open, and I'll be running for local city council member as well. So you can do that. And if you feel like you want to run for anything and need help or assistance, again, jump over to justicepatriots.org, hit the button for the contact, and get in touch with them, and they will direct you in the right place, help walk you through the steps on how to make that happen. And in Donald Trump's last tweet, he was referencing the interview. George Stephanopoulos, ABC, Donald Trump, man, You need to stay away from these guys and come to the new news media. I know our good friend Wayne Dupree interviewed you a couple of times. Folks, we've got to get Donald Trump to start circulating around OAN, America's Voice, New Right Network. We've got to start doing that in order to create the new outlet of news, because wherever Donald Trump speaks at, that's where people are going to show up to listen. And our good friend at Jally_Cat tweeted out about it, said MSM is disgusting. They will do anything to try and make the one man in D.C. that stands up and fights for the people look so bad. So disrespectful. Look for yourself. Trump asked for a redo, yet they air this BS. This is the lowest form of media.
Statement at some point, I assume it's going to be released. You'll be very impressed with the job I've done. Much, much bigger, much better than anybody. They're after my financial statement, the Senate. They'd like to get my financial statement. At some point, I hope they get it.
You're going to turn it over?
No, at some point, I might. But at some point, I hope they get it, because it's a fantastic financial statement. It's a fantastic financial statement. And let's do that over. He's coughing in the middle of my answer.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like that, you know?
Your chief of staff.
If you're going to cough, please leave the room.
Get a shot of, and I'll come over here.
You just can't.
Just to change the shot.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, do you want to do that a little differently then?
Yeah, we just changed the angle. Yep. Thank you.
So at some point, I look forward to, frankly, I'd like to have people see my financial statement, because it's phenomenal. No, it's not up to me. It's up to lawyers. It's up to everything else. But they're asking for things that they should never be asking for, that they've never asked another president for. They want to go through every deal that I've ever done. What they're doing is a disgrace.
What other presidents have turned over?
They're trying to do step. They want to keep it going as long as possible to try and demean and hurt as much as possible so they can possibly win the presidential election.
How despicable. Really? I mean, seriously, these people are like children. ABC News, CNN, fake news, just like children that can't win. So they got to cheat and they got to lie, colluding with the DNC. And we saw that, Donna Brazier with the DNC, Donna Brazier handing over the questions and answers to Hillary Clinton. Donna Brazier now back with Fox News. How about that? And polls don't look... Yeah, that's all screwed up, and it's a big, giant mess. Talk about the enemy of the people. That's the enemy of the people right there. And our good friend at Boyd_2650, it's all about freedom. The Democrats want to destroy America and our fair electoral process. Remember, Dems will do anything to win. Anything. That includes destroying America in the process. Say no to Dems, vote Republicans, POTUS, Trump 2020 landslide. And this is an article by townhall.com. As we see on the border and as we see out in California, Democrats do not care about America. They only care about money and power as they allow illegals to flood into the country, whether they're from Africa, an Ebola-ridden environment, coming here to America. And Ebola, it's 21 incubation days. And also they're saying that Ebola can live in semen for up to 2 years. So you don't even know. This is how awful the Democrats are. They don't care. Not only that, but now we know, according to ICE, that tens of thousands of Islamic have come from the travel ban list countries to America from the border. We now also have articles that have been written about them coordinating attacks from the southern border and the northern border simultaneously. Folks, we've got to lock this up for safety and security. Democrats could care less about safety, security, or even policies. And at DG Perjure, enjoy this travelogue of wonderful Los Angeles brought to you by the Democrats. Now, for those of you audio only, it's not gonna...
Los Angeles, California. Nicknamed the City of Angels, Los Angeles is a world center for business, international trade, entertainment, culture, media, fashion, science, technology, and education. Downtown Los Angeles is a vibrant city center where many people live, work, and play every day. Come experience world-class arts, entertainment, dining, nightlife, and a whole lot more. Then make a stop in Hollywood, the entertainment capital of the world, and take a stroll down the legendary Walk of Fame.
Homelessness, drug use, public urination, public defecation. I left Los Angeles or Southern California. I left there in 2012. My wife and I got married in 2006, and our first apartment down on 2nd Street in Long Beach had a lot of problems because homeless people would defecate between our car and the apartment complex. Come on, man. And now fast forward till now, 2019, what I'm hearing from reports from people that live there is that it's exponentially worse. My wife just went back to see her family, and they decided to go ahead and take that drive, about an hour and a half drive, to go check out the beach and check out LA. And she said it is so much worse. Democrats, you guys have been, the governorship has been run by Democrats. The mayors of Los Angeles, Democrats. You guys are wrecking with your policies. You have wrecked these cities, wrecking Chicago, wrecking New York. And we got Senator at John Cornyn. What does Joe Biden mean when he calls for a physical revolution? And our friend at Lucy Loves Trump, say when. 63 million patriots. This by thedailywire.com.
How would you get past either a majority Republican Senate in which Mitch McConnell was determined to kill all of these ideas, or even a Mitch McConnell in the minority who repeated the consistent filibustering that happened when you were vice president, and anything that came from the Obama-Biden administration, Mitch McConnell considered dead on arrival?
Joy, I know you're one of the ones that think it's naive to think we have to work together. The fact of the matter is, if we can't get a consensus, nothing happens except the abuse of power by the executive. Zero. Number one. Number two, there are certain things where it just takes a brass knuckle fight. There's no way to do it. And so, folks, look, if you start off with the notion there's nothing you can do, well, why don't you all go home then, man? Or let's start a real physical revolution if you're talking about it. Because we have to be able to change what we're doing within our system, because
this is dangerous, folks. This is calling for violence, more and more violence. Democrats can't win on policy, can't win on ideas. They are stuck in reverse. And how do you win? How do you win in reverse? Get violent, beat up the other opponents, threaten them, call them racist, bigot, sexist, homophobe. You see somebody walking down the street with a MAGA hat on, like this right here. You see him with a MAGA hat on. You take to the streets and you physically, violently hurt them, punch them, whatever it takes. Mad Maxine calling for violence. Joe Biden running for president, now calling for a physical revolution. This is the dangerous aspect of what they're talking about. And why is Joe Biden so upset? This at Man's a great gateway pundit. Joe Biden has 85 at big Iowa rally. Trump has 100,000 signed up. Line started 42 hours early. Out the door, jumbo screens ordered to come in for Donald Trump. See if we can make this full screen. Yeah, Joe's right there. There's only a handful of people in that room.
We support President Trump and his whole agenda, 100%.
We wanted to bring our children to make sure that they had an opportunity to see the president and hopefully Melania. My daughter loves Melania. But we also wanted to support our country and our president.
I'm Patricia Rush, and I'm from Greenville. And my daughter and I came from Greenville this morning. We've tried to attend all the McMaster rallies. I've been a politician since I was 10 years old because my grandmother's cousin, J. William Fulbright, got me into the business.
I like President Trump. I like what he's doing. And I like his integrity, and I like his attitude. Yeah, kind of similar to mine, so we've got a lot in common.
And what's unbelievable about this being 85, I promise you, maybe not half, but probably close to half are camera crew that are almost mandated to be there, camera crew and reporters, and you've got staffers, you've got his entourage and that crew that could easily make up the 40 out of the 85. Wow. Joe Biden, bad start. And it's only going to get worse. You calling for violence on Americans that disagree with you is not going to end well, folks. This will not end well for Joe Biden. As we have Democrat policies on display, talk about illegals and driver's license.
You know, when I'm in New York City traffic, I'm not thinking about whether someone is documented or undocumented. I'm thinking about whether someone drives safely. The best way to make sure that people drive safe is that they have a driver's license. They go through the test like everyone else. I believe in driver's licenses for all. I believe that all New Yorkers, regardless of documentation status, need to be able to get a license the right way. It's about fairness, but it's also about safety for all of us and for our families. Right now, what's happening just isn't safe. We have a chance to fix that in Albany. I ask everyone to weigh in. Driver's licenses for all. It's fair, it's smart, it's safe.
Wow, now we're going to give illegal immigrants driver's licenses. What's next? Give them the right to vote too? Let's just give them our country away. This by Fox News as Andrew signs the bill granting illegals driver's license. And our good friend tweeted this out Big Bill Hater. I've talked about this before. Back when I lived in California, they were trying to pass a law called the Motor Voter Law. It then went ahead and it passed. And the motor law was that when you go to renew your driver's license, if you are not currently registered to vote, you will automatically be registered to vote right there. When you driver's license, get driver's license and sign yourself up to vote all at the same time. Now in California, illegals get the well, we're talking about New York, but illegals years ago got the green light to go ahead and get a driver's license with the notion, oh man, they just need insurance. See, they're driving cars and they're hitting people and they can't get insurance because they're not legal and they don't have a license. Well, we need to solve this epidemic. And it truly is an epidemic where illegals are hitting people and fleeing the scene. No license, no citizenship, no money, no nothing. And so they passed it. So now California, you got illegals voting. And now New York, you got illegals voting now. I promise you that's how if it's not already set up in New York, I promise you. That is exactly how it's going to be. And we got all the Democrats, every one of them, from AOC to Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, all of them. Ruth Bader Ginsburg argued that the Electoral College should be abolished, should be changed, should be removed. That happens, the Electoral College, that happens, the entire country will be ruled by two states, New York and California, will rule the entire country, all their policies. That's where we get flushed down the toilet, and that's where America becomes a shithole country. We've got to stop this. And at Electra661, so if you have a DUI, you have no driver's license for 90 days. Yes, you get suspended, right? If you enter our country illegally, you get one for free. What the hell kind of legal system are we living under? We should challenge this in court, POTUS. We, the people, need a free attorney to represent us. And just like that, overnight, you got an entire country being dominated by California and by New York, if you abolish the Electoral College, filled with illegals. Like it's a sanctuary state. Ron DeSantis down there in Florida, thank you so much, passing the bill to ban sanctuary cities. You've got the crazy Governor Newsom, and now you've got Cuomo. We're a sanctuary state. Bring all illegals. And as you see, this is not going to end well for those states. And AOC added again this at Secret Stranger 9. AOC sinks to a new low every way imaginable, comparing southern border camps to concentration camps is an insult not only to the Jewish people, but to all who Allied soldiers who liberated the camps. And thank you at Real Savidra. Definitely want to follow if you are on Twitter and you want real news. This is definitely one to follow.
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border. And that is exactly what they are. They are concentration camps. And if that doesn't bother you, we can have, okay, whatever. I want to talk to the people that are concerned enough with humanity to say that we should not, that never again means something. and that the fact that concentration camps are now an institutionalized practice in the home of the free is extraordinarily disturbing. And we need to do something about it. This week, immigrant children were moved to the same internment camps where the Japanese were held in the earlier 20th century. And this is not even about a crisis this is not just about the immigrant communities being held in concentration camps being a crisis. This is a crisis for ourselves. This is a crisis on if America will remain America in its actual principles and values, or if we are losing to an authoritarian and fascist presidency. And so I think that is, I don't use those words lightly. I don't use those words to just throw bombs. I use that word because that is what an administration that creates concentration camps is. A presidency that creates concentration camps is fascist. And it's very difficult to say that.
You heard it right from the horse's mouth. We are running concentration camps on the border. This is despicable. This is awful. You see why her poll numbers are really super low. She's starting to sink even worse. This hate mongering, this fear and hate about concentration camps on the border, where we're gassing people, we're setting their bodies on fire, we're pulling teeth out. This is a product of the Department of Education right here. This is a product of the Department of Education. I can't say it enough. Guys, you've got to get involved and get in this game. Jump over to SmythTV. Help out. Check out the shop. There's all kinds of stuff to buy. Become a Patreon. Help us getting the real news out about these politicians and helping to educate the next generation of voters. I was talking with my daughters this morning over breakfast, and they brought up something. They were in VBS all week long, and one of their teachers lived in Venezuela. And my daughters, I'm so proud of them. My daughters had a conversation with the teacher about Venezuela, and the teacher's talking about raising money to buy food to send to the people in Venezuela. And my daughter spoke up and said, yeah, there's no food on the shelves. My daddy told me all about that. And they were telling the teacher that a bus driver runs the country. I said, yeah, you should have told him a bus driver run the country into a bridge abutment. I gave him more information and talked to him more about how that happened, and then those are Democrat ideologies and policies. This is the Department of Misinformation. My daughter's getting the real information. I don't want them growing up and saying dumb stuff like this and having to be called out. This is embarrassing. It's an elected official. This is embarrassing. And Cindy C's Truth, this is absolutely one to follow at CS00582SC. Mexico can't handle illegal crisis alone. According to the report from KSLA News 12, Mexico now says they will deploy only half of the 6,000 troops to the border. Troops are not the answer to the crisis. The U.S. must help money as they can't handle the crisis alone. It's our good friend at Jack Posobiec breaking. State Department spokesperson Morgan announces the Trump administration is ending foreign aid for Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador until they reduce illegal alien crossings the U.S. border. Hundreds of millions will be repurposed by Congress. And at Real Donald Trump, thank you, sir, for being a champion and a voice of the people. He tweets out, next week, ICE will begin the process of removing the millions of illegal aliens who have illicitly found their way into the United States. They will be removed as fast as they come in. Mexico, using their strong immigration laws, is doing a very good job of stopping the people. I hope so. This is very, this is encouraging and discouraging at the same time. Mexico going to buckle their knees a little bit. You guys better hold on. Donald Trump's going to put those tariffs right back on. I trust him. I believe him. Yes, absolutely. Mexico needs assistance and needs help. They're very corrupt government. The drug cartel pretty much runs the government. Dark money coming into that country from Iran, drug deals and drug cartel coming up through the border. Yes, this is a huge monumental task. And Donald Trump, thank you, sir, for putting ICE on the job and forcing these illegals back out of our country. And we reported on this last week, but we'll bring it back up again at Small Town Andrew. What diseases are they bringing? Border agents are getting sick from protecting the southern border. It will disgust you to read about what they go through protecting our border. And thank you, Donald Trump, for tweeting out at Real Donald Trump. Illegal immigration costs the United States more than $200 billion a year. How was this allowed to happen? Well, sir, I'll tell you how it's allowed to happen. The Uniparty, the Democrats and the Republicans, both together, the Uniparty, wanting to stay in power, knowing that you were going to show up one day, maybe not necessarily you, but knowing that someone like you was going to show up one day, and they had to cut that off at the pass before it ever happened. They wanted to keep it them and them, all against us. And at H. Renee 80 Heather, who in the right damn mind makes a conscious effort to weigh their options and decides, yeah, I think I'm going to support the ones who are always sympathizing with terrorist countries and illegal aliens. Mind-blowing. Surprised it hasn't happened yet. Me too. At Navy Wife Allison.
Where did you serve? Where did you serve over in the Middle East?
In '91. I was in the first Persian excursion.
What's your feeling about those people? The way that they feel about the U.S.
They hate us with a passion.
Did you? Why?
Why? Because we're us.
How did they treat you when you were there?
Well, with respect, because I was armed.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you're not armed, you're nothing but the infidel, and they're. To me, it's kind of like having a dog that you got to tie a pork chop around your neck to play with you. Okay, the only reason they like us or even give you the time of day is because we're foolish enough to give them money or, whatever they need.
Very well said.
But as soon as they're done with us, or they got somebody to give them bigger and better, we're the infidel again, and we deserve to die. That's just the way it is.
Wow. I go back to a question. I don't know if you were in when we had our little together time, but.
No, he wasn't there.
He wasn't here? I have a very... And give
be careful of the question.
No. You got short, concise, powerful answers. I like them. Question is, how surprised would you be within the next... Actually, no, let me say it the other way. How long do you think it is until we have another 9/11?
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Really?
I'll tell you what, as soon as they figure out how to get a nuclear device in here, we will lose the city. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. As soon as they figure out how to do it or where to get it through, we will lose the city. I guarantee you that.
And where's the most open door right now?
Yeah.
Right here. Texas,
You're on the front lines, bro.
Yeah.
From here all the way up through Arizona, California, everywhere.
Democrats don't care. Democrats don't care. You heard him. If they can get a nuclear device, they'll do it. We've already got videotape and audio tape of imams saying that we should arm our soldiers coming across the border illegally with ricin. Like actually bring in biological weapons to attack just anybody in America for any reason. This is the insanity of the Democrat Party allowing jihadist Islamic to be able to come through this country, to be able to even be elected. And that's the other problem, folks, that we're fighting. And why do we have to fight them? Looking right here at McGuire Scotty, this in London. Muslim Mayor Sadiq Khan has made his breed of criminals super citizens by denying them arrest and uses his police instead to persecute angry people on social media. Youths robbing a pizza delivery man on the out-of-control London streets. And as I was speaking to my daughters this morning about Islam, lo and behold, at YHWH University tweeted this out. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to, this show prep. I got to show my daughters this one. Who would have thought pre-1979 Islamic revolution that Iran, who believed in freedom of speech, dressed as Westerners did, tolerant to Christians and Jews and Yiddies, had love for their un-Islamic heritage, how things can change in the blink of an eye. And this in London and France, and a video montage in Germany of huge crowds. And you see that in France, in the schools, everywhere being overtaken by Islam. This is in Belgium, all over Europe. Sweden, what happened in Sweden last night? Well, you're watching it right there. Bulgaria, and now Greece. It is just an absolute invasion. This is the caliphate. This is the caliphate that the Democrats are willing to help put into effect. And you ask, why, Brian? Why? Because it is the same goal. It achieves the same goal as communism, as socialism. Islam achieves the exact same goal, enslave the people, religions of Satan, if you will. It's a death cult for sure. If Satan had a religion, it would be Islam. And as we see, this is also somewhat connected to the Spygate ordeal, because as I said last week, and more information is starting to come out, folks, is that the governments that were involved in Spygate, they were corrupted governments that now have been overturned. As we talk about Italy, the people just absolutely incensed with all the globalism, the influx of immigrations. They're being flooded from Africa, the African immigrants illegally. And now we see them with their electing of their new president, who is, Matteo Salvini. I guess he's a knockoff of Trump, but they absolutely love Trump's nationalism. And now we have this being tweeted out by George Papadopoulos. Obama is meeting with the previous Italian foreign minister who weaponized Italy's intelligence assets against us today. The new de facto leader of Italy, Matteo Salvini, is in D.C. to talk about Spygate with the administration today. Timing is everything. And now we got Donald Trump. Thank you, sir, for tweeting out at Real Donald Trump. Wow. State Department said it has identified 30 security incidents involving current or former employees of their handling of crooked Hillary Clinton's emails at Fox News. This is really big. Never admitted before, highly classified material. Will the Dems investigate this? And our good friend Chat by CC tweeted this out. Finally, the unraveling of crooked Hillary and those who wove the web of lies with her to cover for her. It's happening. Yes, absolutely. Obama is desperate to keep the Spygate alive, desperate to do something because he knows it's all over. And for him to start colluding with Iran, colluding with the Italian foreign minister, this is not going to go well. This is your legacy and your administration, and people are going to pay. Donald Trump's telling us right here, people are going to pay. And this at Doing Right won. Hillary did the crime and obstructed justice, and now Barr is investigating the matter again. There were classified documents on the email server. You seem surprised.
Aren't you ordering him to violate the laws on handling classified material there?
Not at all. And as the State Department said just this week, that did not happen. And it never would have happened because that's just not the way I treated classified information.
You knew the instructions about how to get around the restrictions for sending classified information. So you're saying there was never any other instance in which you did that?
No.
A little different since the FBI is investigating this specific question of whether a classification was meddled with. Let me ask you about another email in this batch, which was one in which you seem to express surprise that somebody emailed on their non-State Department personal email, which is what you were doing. Why was that a surprise to you?
This is incredible. Flashback, guys. This is how this is going to unravel. This is how this is going to go down. They are absolutely exposed. This at James PIDD. Email show Obama State Department's role in anti-Trump coup cabal. This at Breitbart.com. John Kerry, President Obama, Secretary of State, seems to be having trouble with the Logan Act. Yes, I just explained to you. They're going all around the world talking to the people they shouldn't be talking to. And now Judicial Watch has received more evidence of this anti-Trump conspiracy with the Daily Caller News Foundation. They just released 16 pages of documents revealing senior state officials, Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland, and Special Coordinator for Libya Jonathan Winter coordinating with incoming House Majority Whip Steny Hoyer, National Security Advisor David Silverberg, to work on Russia dossier information provided by Christopher Steele. We just knew it was just a matter of time, folks. That's all it is. They are going to pay. It is all coming down. Donald Trump tweeting out he knows all of it. He's read most of this information, and trust Bill Barr is doing his job. And at Trump's always breaking, Clinton email classified material violations confirmed. State Department has assessed culpability to 15 individuals. This at thegatewaypundit.com. And thank you, Donald Trump, for tweeting out and letting us know where the fake news is. He said the story at the New York Times about the U.S. escalating attacks on Russian power grid. Come on, man, that's fake news. This is just disgusting. It's despicable. Anybody that plugs into the New York Times at this point in time is just absolutely gaslit and okay with lies. That's true, flat out lies. This is just, our system is so screwed up that we've got half the country listening to fake news, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, New York Times, LA Slimes, all of them. Folks, crush the like and click the share, hit the notification bell, and make sure that you send the link, the show notes link, to your friends and your family so they can get the real news, showing them where it is at Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And just in a few more minutes, folks, the Wayne Dupree Show comes on right at 8 o'clock. I had to put this in here at Danny_Williams. Even though you abandoned me and only took care of Chelsea, I still want to thank you for giving me life. Happy Father's Day. This is Bill Clinton's son. And come to find out, fantastic, man. God follows us. It's fantastic. Hey, thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. Everybody follow Danny. He's a great, great person to follow. Thank you so much for getting out the real information, Danny. And let's end this on a fantastic note. On Tuesday, Donald Trump speaking tonight at an Orlando, Florida rally where 100,000 people have RSVP'd to be at the rally. So Donald Trump and crew have ordered giant jumbo screen TVs to be placed all around so that all the crowds outside can see the rally. This is the start, folks. This is going to be huge. And our good friend Brandon tweets out, President Donald Trump is expected to formally announce his 2020 re-election campaign in Orlando, Florida tomorrow. I look forward to watching. President real Donald Trump is my president. Let's do this. And President Trump tweeting out, the fake news doesn't report it, but Republican enthusiasm is at an all-time high. Look at what's going on in Orlando, Florida right now. People have never seen anything like it. Unless you play the guitar. Going to be wild. See you later. And Trump tweeting again. Thousands of people are already lined up in Orlando, some 2 days before tomorrow night's big rally. Large screens and food trucks will be there for those that can't get into the 25,000 capacity arena. It will be a very exciting event. Make America great again. And this tweeted out at Tim Atara, Director of Communications for Re-elect Donald Trump 2020. The dedication of the MAGA faithful is something to behold. They love their country and their presidents, and they camp out in the rain for a day and a half to show their support. His policies, record successes. The Orlando rally tomorrow will be epic. It's just human nature. I want to wrap it up on this at Isaac Stonefish. More than 25% of Hong Kong's population of 7.4 million people protested this weekend. By proportion, these are the largest protests in modern history. Absolutely stunning. What does this have to do with Donald Trump? Guys, it's human nature to want to be free. It's human nature to not want to be enslaved. Hong Kong, China, I mean, you talk about a communist regime that really suppressive of the people, and the people don't want it anymore. Folks, that's why they're watching America. That's why they're watching Donald Trump. That's why they're watching us. Because we are that shining city on the hill that people can look to and say, hey, you know what? They got it right. They finally got it right. Christianity, capitalism, all wrapped up. I'm telling you, law and order, small federal government, give more of the power back to the people so that they can rule their own lives and let the states be. We've got to get back to the starting block or how this all began, folks. We've got to go back to the beginning, go back to the basics, and that is Donald Trump. That's what Donald Trump is doing. The policies and the ideas that he's putting into play right now, it's not groundbreaking in the sense of some revolutionary idea or something that you needed Isaac Newton or Einstein to come figure out. No, these are just basic common sense ideologies that would not be implemented because of money and power in the Democrat Party, money and power of the Republicans colluding with the Democrat Party. We know it. We've seen it. The exodus of 2018 of Republicans from office in the attempt to overthrow Donald Trump, just absolutely despicable. America is woke up and we're not taking it anymore. And again, folks, if you're out there in Orlando, Florida, have a blast, have a good time. And for those of you who haven't been to a Trump rally, when you get to it, because you know you're going, when you get to a Trump rally, make sure that you find the booth. Don't buy the hat outside. Don't buy it outside. Find the booth inside and ask them, do the proceeds of me buying this hat go directly to Donald Trump's campaign? When they say yes, that's where you buy the hat. I know it's goofy looking, but it's all about making America great. It don't matter. All right, everybody, for Tuesday Thoughts, have a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow for Wednesday Wisdom. Peace out.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.